Hello! So I survived. My last video I talked about how I was going to get a bunch of tests done as part of my screening to become a living liver donor, which is an extremely awkward phrase. I keep saying it. I should say living partial liver donor, both because that's more accurate and it flows better off the tongue. Anyway, or also, I don't really need to specify living donor since, like, you would assume. Anyway, so went to San Francisco, went to UCSF, got a bunch of tests done. So I have been, like, physically healthy my whole life. I've never been in the hospital for, like, a physical medical problem. So all of this was kind of new. Let's see. So what did I have going on? I got an abdominal ultrasound, a chest X-ray, an EKG, something called a transthoracic echocardiogram, which is like an ultrasound of your heart, an MRI with contrast, and a CT with contrast. I think they're all with contrast. I don't know why I'm specifying, but yeah, an MRI and a CT, and then also just a bunch of labs. I'm used to that. Used to having blood taken. This was an insane amount of blood, though. They were like, I think there were double-digit tubes. Like when they hand off all the stickers, it was just like 2 pages because they're testing for everything. I survived though, and then I think with liver donation or live organ donation, or just organ donation in general, they're very specific. They're very clear. Okay, I like where that is better. They're very attentive about getting the right blood type. So I had to have all my blood drawn for the tests and blood type, and then they did another blood draw with a different person doing it, just so like they can double, triple, absolutely check that this is an O positive. This is O positive blood. This is an O positive liver. Yeah. The only of these tests that I had done before were, I had an ultrasound done when I was like a really little kid, and I do not remember it really at all. I think I remember being scary. And I'd done an EKG before. I was on a med, Celexa, that apparently at high doses can potentially cause heart problems, and I wanted to keep being on high doses of it, so I had to check my heart could handle it. This shirt might be on backwards, but I'm already committed to the video, so we're just gonna pretend he didn't see that. And yeah, so I'd had an EKG, I'd had ultrasound, but I mean the ultrasound was basically a whole new experience because it was a serious one. They were just all over my abdomen. They had me holding my breath, and yeah, that was weird. All of the staff were really great. Yeah, everyone was super helpful. Everyone was so sweet. The TTE, the woman doing the like heart ultrasound, was the best. She was like explaining the whole thing. She told me at the beginning, like, okay, we need you to stay still, so we don't want you to talk, so that's why I'm not talking to you. Don't be worried that like I'm being silent because something's terribly wrong. And I was like, I'm glad you said that, because that would be on my mind. Because the other ultrasound tech was kind of quiet, and for a while she had like this concerned expression, and I'm like, all right, this is it, I guess. Sure, fine. I'm tapping out here, and then I noticed she was just having some trouble with the monitor. So that it was very weird having the TTE done and looking over at the screen and being like, oh, that's my heart. That's the thing inside my body, and there's a live video feed of it. Cool. I knew that the MRI was going to be stressful. I mean, I knew it was going to be an experience. Everyone talks about it. You're, like, when they were preparing me for it, they were like, are you claustrophobic? And I had to be like, not that I know of, but I've never been in a truly tight, enclosed space. So we're gonna find out. And I did feel stressed out in that little space. What my mind called to mind was like a water slide, one of the ones that goes all the way around, except for no water and you're completely still. What really threw me off, I think, was, first of all, they move the bed sometimes, and I would have loved to have that explained to me beforehand, because I was just, the motion was weirding me out. Because they had, like, they described it as, like, the camera, the thing that they put over your chest. I couldn't see my feet, and for some reason, my mind turned that into, like, the idea that I was tilted. That I was, like, tilted a bit forward. I knew I wasn't. Well, actually, I didn't know. I asked the tech, like, confirming, like, this is level, right? My mom is a massage therapist. She also told me that people on her massage table will sometimes get the same sensation. So yeah, there was that. That was putting me in a weird place. It is loud. I was honestly prepared for different noises. Like, I was prepared for the tuk 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 noise that, like, you hear in movies, but there's also a lot of beeping and kind of worrying and just every different type of noise. And at times they have you, like, breathing and holding it, and the machine has, like, this little British voice. And at one point I didn't hear the breathe in, hold, relax. I didn't hear the relax, so I was just holding my breath for forever, and I was like, I don't want you to get mad at me if I'm wrong, but I just can't hold my breath any longer. So it was not a pleasant experience. I was definitely breathing heavily by the end, but I made it through. I forgot to take my bra off, which was fun because, like, as it's going, she's like, do you have any metal on you? Like, do you have any piercings? Do you have any metal things on your skin? And I'm like, no, I definitely don't. And they had to pull me out, and I was like, oh. Yeah, so that was embarrassing. I had to actually take the tube out of my IV so I could get it off. But I was glad that it was metal because, or that it was my bra, because I was terrified that there was something wrong with me. It was my first time getting an IV put in. Like I said, I've got my blood drawn before. I got my blood drawn earlier that day, but I had never had anything, like, put into a vein. I never gotten anything intravenously. And it's a weird experience. It's weird looking down after they put in the catheter. It didn't hurt more or less than regular getting blood drawn, but it is weird looking down and be like, oh, that's inside my veins. And when they injected the contrast, I forget what the contrast was for the MRI, but she was like, this might feel cold, and I'm like, cool. I'm like, yeah, that feels like nothing I've ever felt before. Cool. Then I had the CT. CT was my last thing of the day. Luckily they're, like, right next to each other. They're both in, like, the lowest level of the garage because machines are so fucking heavy. So that was fun. The CT is a lot less stressful. Well, the CT itself is a lot less stressful because you're not in it. It's not like, the MRI is, like, just this narrow tube, this body-sized tube that they push you into. It's a little coffin-y. I'm glad I didn't reach the coffin. I came with water slide analogy and not the coffin analogy in the moment. But the CT is like a big donut. And they, like, you're on the bed and they slide you into it and, like, things whir, and it's the most sci-fi looking machine. So that wasn't a big deal. But that was the time that I got the iodine contrast. And when the tech, was, like, pressing the button, I assumed the button wasn't like that, but I didn't see it, so in my head, it's like a bomb button. She said, okay, so this is gonna feel warm. It's gonna feel a warm feeling starting at your throat, and it'll go all the way down, and you'll feel like you've peed yourself, but you haven't. Don't worry. That's how it feels. That's how everyone feels. And I was like, all right, okay. She did it, and it was the weirdest thing. It's like, there's that John and Mulaney bit, like, I think I know how most things feel. I thought I knew how most things feel. Like, it did. Like, your insides get uncomfortably hot, and it goes all the way down, and I am so glad that I knew ahead of time that she'd given me all that information, because I would be very concerned. But I started getting a little, like, agitated, like, breathing heavily, kind of freaking out, because I was like, no, that's too hot, something is wrong, that hurts. I might just be a baby about pain. Entirely plausible, probably not a good sign going forward, but yeah, I breathed through it. I'm really tough, and stuff. Made my way out. The fun part of the CT was, as I'm, like, on the bed and they're about to slide me in, there's, like, this black strip over me, and to either side there's, like, screens, like, at, like, Target, the screens showing yourself, and on that strip there was a little, like, what I assume is the camera, and then what looked, I told her later, for all the world like the Xbox logo. And I'm thinking of that and I'm like, it's not the Xbox logo, it's just a random other company or something. And when she's wheeling me out, I'm like, that looks for all the world like the Xbox logo, and she says, yeah, that's a Kinect. I find out later, I'm looking it up, it is actually fairly common to use Xbox Kinects in CT scans. Like, they, like, map out your body beforehand to, like, know where to take images. I don't know the science. I'm not a scientographer. But that was fun to find out. Overall, yeah, it was a good day. Was not as stressful. Oh my god, there's a spider over there. That is stressful. Please stay over there. Yeah, everybody made it really easy. It was really chill. Kind of just all I had to walk up and say, like, either my name or say, like, my name, I'm with the Living Donor Program. And he was like, they were like, oh yeah, okay, just go. You didn't have to show anything. I mean, show ID, but, like, no insurance or anything. I had some trouble on the train going back. I kind of whiffed it. I'm not good at. I need to get back into the habit of public transportation. My skills have gotten rusty. I got so confused and lost. I was more stressful than the MRI. Yeah, so that was yesterday. All of my results, UCSF uses my chart. I don't know if, like, it's like the app site to communicate with patients. And all of, like, my blood and urine results got listed, along with, like, the TTE and the chest x-ray, which are great because they're just, like, normal. It is normal, unremarkable. Like, that's what we want to hear. And then lab results, like, before, the social worker, when she was explaining what was going to happen on the day, she was like, and we'll give you the results every few days, and don't look at them and be worried, because some of them are, say, abnormal, or some of them are, say, high or low, but, don't panic. We're going to have a doctor explain it to you. Don't try to interpret them on your own, basically. And, of course, I immediately look at the results and start trying to interpret them, and I'm like, yes, normal, yes, normal. Wait, this is high. Let me, and I'm like 10 Google tabs deep, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll just put that out of my mind for now. I say Google, I'm a DuckDuckGo woman. That is about the state of things. So what I'm waiting for now is, I think I'm gonna have someone come back and talk to me about the results. And I don't know whether at this stage they'll tell me just that something has come up and it's a hard no, or if, so I don't know if they'll come to me now and say like, oh no, we saw this on your scan, it's a no go. Or if, like what happened normally, everything's gonna go to the committee and they'll look at everything all at once and they'll make the call. Yes, we can take out your liver, or no, we can't take out your liver. And I'm really, really hoping they do. I'm really, really stoked. I'd be so bummed if it ended up being that I couldn't donate. But I do know that's a possibility. You know, life is life. And sometimes the doctors won't carve out half of your liver. Wise words. What my grandfather said to me on my wedding day. Yeah, I don't have anything else to add. Just major kudos to the staff at UCSF. Lovely people. Yeah, that is it. So like I said, next step, but right now it's just waiting. If something happens, I might give an update, but it might be a very long time. Yeah, either it might be a long time to my next update, or my next update might be soon, and it might be like, oh, well, show over. Yeah, wish me luck. Cross your fingers. Double. You know, when you were kids, did you do the double cross fingers? Anyway. Anyway, further liver donation adventures of Hannah. Have a great evening, day, time of where it is. Have a good one. Bye.